Hey Ferguson Family Danes family, today we have an exciting video for you about Kimber's retirement. So when we had Benelli spayed a couple months ago, we did a retirement video for her showing all of her productive years and all of the puppies that she has had, and kind of a contribution to her, a dedication to her and all the families that now have Benelli puppies. And it was so special, and so many of our families loved it that I said to Michaela, I said, we got to do one for Kimber. So Kimber is getting spayed next week, so she will officially be retired as of next week when she is spayed. Benelli and Kimber's journeys have been quite different. Kimber has just been a tough one. I'm not sure. We've done lots of research, and I can't say that we've had too many answers, but basically her last 3 litters, she has went into preterm labor. I've reached out to so many other breeders. We did research with our vet, and she did have a good last litter. She had 6 beautiful puppies, and we only lost, I say only, I'll give you a little bit of a backstory with that, but we only lost 2 from that litter. And so she had 6 beautiful babies, which we were super excited about. But any research we have done and reached out to, like I said, our vet, there's really not a rhyme or reason why she continued to go into preterm labor. We did get her to stay a little bit longer and cook those that last litter a little bit longer, but it's been quite a traumatic, to be honest, journey with her. Whenever I talk to other breeders, like, hey, how do you handle when your girls go into preterm labor? They're like, they don't. So I don't know if that's something common in other breeds, and it's just not in Danes. I have heard that they're, pretty beefy birthers and, pretty easy because of their stature, which brings me to another thing. Kimber is by far our smallest Dane. She usually averages about 100 pounds, which is pretty small for a Dane. Super skinny. We free feed her, give her extras, and she just maintains a very skinny build. We've had all kinds of testing done for her to see, different things that could be like deficiencies or different things that are off, and everything really, the only thing that came up was her liver enzyme. So we gave her that for about 3 months, and it didn't really make a huge difference of putting weight on her. So anyway, she is loved. She is our second Dane apart from Benelli. We got them about 2 months apart. And our oldest biological daughter, Hayden, is just completely attached to Kimber, and they are just the best of friends. So she will be living out her retirement years here with us in our home, and we're so thankful for that. And let me do the math in my head, and let me get right back. Okay, so I'm back. I went down and got out my records because, so her first litter, we set it out with another boy, Apollo, and Michaela will put all of this together. She's done a beautiful job. And then Kimber's next 3 litters are all from Colt, our boy, and they have kind of bled together because each one has been Colt and each one has been kind of traumatic since then. So I made some notes that I'm going to go over with you just to do a summary. So Michaela and I were sitting downstairs like, wait, when did that happen and what happened? So Kimber has had a total of 49 puppies and she has lost 19 of those puppies. So she has had 30 living puppies, and her living puppies are absolutely gorgeous. Kimber produces beautiful, her and Colt produce the most gorgeous puppies, amazing structure, just gorgeous puppies. And that's honestly why after the 3rd litter, I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore with her. and she just produces the most beautiful puppies and structure and color. So I was like, let's just try one more. So we had her 4th litter, and that one didn't go too terribly compared to the other ones. But so her first one, we studded out with another stud, Apollo, and it was her first litter. She went full term, and she had 13 beautiful puppies, gorgeous, healthy, no issues whatsoever. Her second litter, and go and check out these videos, because we've, recorded all of these whelping videos. So if you want to see any of these whelping videos that are exciting and traumatic and God-filled and God-trusting, go and check those videos out. But she had 6 living. And then I think because one, she's going into preterm labor and her body's not quite ready, they start spacing out, and then it's too long, and the puppies are dying in the womb then, because they don't have enough oxygen. They can't make it that long. So we had 7 deceased, and then by some miracle, we had 2 more. Her last 2 were living. So from that litter, she had 15. She birthed 15. There was a set of twins in there, and 8 of those were living. And then her 3rd litter was horrific. She went into preterm labor again. She ended up, the first 3 were perfect, beautiful babies, and then she had a long pause, and the last 10 were deceased. So she had 13 in that litter, 3 were living. And then her last litter, like I said, we were able to give her extra supplements and just do extra things and monitor her a little bit more closely and different things. And she ended up having 8, and 2 of them were deceased. So she had 6. So she's had 30 beautiful puppies, but we've also lost 19, which has been very devastating and very just causing us to evaluate. And I do believe that is a huge, huge exception. And for those of you, I'm sure some of this makes you mad, and then other people appreciate this. But I do believe that with her, it was a spiritual battle for us to see if basically I fully believe that our family is supposed to be doing this. The connections that we have made through the families that have adopted puppies from us is truly what it's about. We have never sold a puppy to somebody who wasn't absolutely ecstatic about adding this family member to their home. We've had 89 puppies. And out of all 89 puppies, we've only had 1 return to us, and that was Reese. And I, give God the credit for that. And it's so amazing to see how these Danes have become such amazing parts of these people's families. Truly, truly family members. And I just love our families, and I'm so thankful for them. And I'm so thankful that we get the opportunity to not only provide a Dane for their family that becomes a part of their family, but also to share the gospel of Jesus with them and give them a Bible and just make those connections. And I really feel like with Kimber especially, that it was a spiritual battle of, are we going to allow this discouragement, this exception? And like I said, any Great Dane breeder I've talked to has been like, that is so weird. For 30 years I've bred, and that has never happened to me. So I felt like if it was something that was going to continue, obviously we would have needed to pivot and go a different direction. But because I felt like this is such a rarity, it seems like, that I felt like it was just Kimber, and it was, Satan's way of trying to deter us and our family from what God had put on our hearts to do. So with all that being said, we are so thankful for Kimber. Hayden, do you want to come say something? This is Hayden. You have to at least come say hi. This is Kimber's master and her best friend, probably. Anyway, this is Hayden. Just wanted her to say hello. So I'm going to stop talking. Enjoy this montage that wonderful Michaela has put together of all of Kimber's beautiful babies. And we're just so thankful that the Lord has done what God has done through Kimber. So enjoy.